Good evening. Welcome everyone to the 2009 SATV Annual Meeting of the Membership. My name's Kevin Walker and I'll be the host, MC, interlocutor, guide, whatever, while we discuss all things SATV. But this actually being a meeting, and we're operating under Robert's Rules of Order light, it's not an actual meeting until the chairman, Mr. Charles Walsh, says,
"We are live from SATV. Today is March the 11th, and the meeting is now officially open."
Excellent. Well, we're going to be doing all kinds of things SATV, talking about how it serves the community through SATV as an organization, and the individual producers and how they are free to do whatever they want, and they usually do. We will hear from the treasurer and to hear the health status of the finances of SATV, which I would think, I haven't seen the reports this month, but I would bet there's a lot of CEOs around the country that would just drool over the health of this organization and the responsible administration of that money. There will also be an election where there will be 3 people elected to the membership seats for the board of directors, a very key ingredient of our corporation. Anyone that is an active member here tonight can be nominated to run also. There are 3 people on the slate currently. And if nothing else, it's a great way to really put somebody on the spot, just somebody you don't know and nominate them, because they got to get up and give a 2-minute speech. So it'll make it can be fun television. And there's a couple of roll-ins we'll be looking at, produced by Patrick Kennedy, which I haven't seen yet, but I understand they're terrific. And we will then have a couple of awards, acknowledgments of some people for the stuff they've done throughout the year. And then at the end, we're going to have, for the finale, we actually have Axl Rose and Madge for the Palmolive dishwater manicure. They come out and they do an act, and it's quite spectacular. And we'll make sure that everybody in the front row has like plastic ponchos and eye protection. So we'll look forward to that. And so we'll just jump in by introducing some people. We'll start by introducing the board of directors, beginning with the aforementioned chairman, Charlie Walsh. And then we have the treasurer, Mr. Sumner Jones, the secretary, Mary Ann Silva, Linda Vaughn, Ken Weaver, Eric Smith, Jack Nutting is not with us tonight, and Kevin Walker. That would be me at this point. So thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, that's it's just the kind of thing we need for just an introduction. Then into the people who really make this place go. Of course, the membership is technically the lifeblood, but I won't get into too many biological metaphors. But they are the bone and the sinew and the muscle and all that stuff. There, I said it. So we'll start with Executive Director, Mr. Sal A. Russo.
Thank you.
And then we have David Gauthier, Program Director.
Right.
Patrick Kennedy, Training and Production Coordinator. Andrew Fritz, Production Associate Assistant. And this is where I expect the applause to go crazy, because of this last fellow. If we started talking the individual things that he does, I could just picture the typical movie thing of the pages flying off the calendar and the hands going around the clock. But we'll just suffice to say, he's the IT coordinator and deserves as big a hand as he can get, David Moisen.
Yeah.
Throughout the evening, or I don't see her now, but Diane will have a microphone, and we welcome any questions from the floor, really at any time, as long as you do so in using some degree of decorum, and we'll acknowledge, and then you can ask a question. Hopefully it'll have something to do with SATV, but general knowledge is we can turn this into the cash cab for a little bit if we want. But I'm going to start by, first questions that I have here that I'm allowed to do is to Mr. Walsh, which is somebody sitting home now, and they're flicking through the channels, and all of a sudden they happen to turn to this, and they see this gorgeous set, and these guys in these cool suits, and they go, what the heck is that? Now, through some sort of psychic link, you can talk right through the TV to this person. What do you tell them? What is this? What is he looking at?
Their immediate thought is, I can do that. I think I'd like to do that. In fact, I'm going to show other people how good I really am. But how do I go about it? Well, there's many ways you can do it. The way I found out was I had people come down to my school. At one time I was a principal, and I had these people come down and help take pictures of the kids and so forth. And they said to me, why don't you guys do this yourself? I said, well, I don't know anything about it. They said, well, go down to Derby Street, talk to the people down there, and they'll teach you. So I said, well, I'm retired now. I might as well go down there and see what's going on. Best thing I ever did in my life. Drives my wife crazy, although really, it makes it better for her because I'm gone a lot of the time. I spend a lot of time here because I love coming here. Because once you get down here, the people you interact with are just fantastic. You learn from each other. Nobody criticizes. You take your time. You learn things in steps, logical sequence to learning a thing. First you learn the outside camera, then the inside, and then you learn how to edit. I'm still learning. I'm coming along. Aren't I coming along slowly? Really slowly?
Slowly.
Right,
Oh,
right.
sure. Well, we don't criticize you.
But we don't criticize.
But that's
it.
the way it starts. When people turn on the TV and they see, they'll ask me, you know, where do all these people come from that are doing all these crazy things? And they start their own shows. And I said, that's how they learn. They just go down there and they become a part of a family, really, is what we are. And you can see that looking at the audience here. Everybody enjoys, and they learn from each other. They pick up things that normally you wouldn't pick up, that they tell you they've learned through experience. It makes it so much easier. And from that point on, I would say this young man would carry it.
Well, I was going to also ask, what is an example of something that you've seen that embodies in a production SATV?
Oh, God. Well, we have a program, Salem Now, which delves into all kinds of different fields, interviews people, and gets them talking on a person basis. Person-to-person basis, it might be to a group. It gets other people to express their opinion, and then the people, when they see it on television, tend to say, gee, you know, I never thought of something that way. Maybe there's more to this program. I should find out what's going on. It could be a fun program. Around Christmas time, we have a lot of fun activities. And they say, gee, my kids could get involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, the greenhouse children, which is a little private school in Salem, they bring their children down here, and they actually had them train on the equipment. And they could produce their own shows, the reading show. And people get interested in that, and they find out, gee, I can read to my kids. I can learn from this. And they have. So I think, you know.
Yes, so this person that Charlie was just talking to, now he comes down here and goes, okay, I want to join. What's the process?
The process is very simple. To become a member, obviously you have to either live, work, or attend Salem State College in Salem, and then you come down and pay your fee. If it's an individual, it's $25. Organizational membership is $35. Business is $55. And then you basically sit down, do an orientation. We are an organization. We do have rules and regulations. So we have to go over those rules and regulations. You sign a compliance that says you agree to the rules and regulations. And then you can go to training. Then you go in front of Patrick and you learn camcorder, you learn editing, studio, what we're doing right now. You can learn whatever you want. And that's the whole process. It's very simple, very easy.
So this fella comes in from out of nowhere and he got this is community access. So like what kind of equipment is he looking to use? He's going to have 8mm cameras, filmos? And
Now we have pretty high-end equipment. We have HD camcorders, digital camcorders. We have studio control room is full HD. It's, digital and high-end video. So it's a great facility. It has great equipment.
Now just an aside, a semi-technical, when you mention HD, it always makes me wonder, Now, we don't broadcast here in HD, do we?
No.
So then, just to clear up in case somebody goes, they got to HD.
No public access broadcasts in digital. Unfortunately, it's still in the analog world. That's the FCC rules and regulations.
But
now.
it is possible to use the HD camera
Yes.
through HD considerations in the
Yes.
software and to print it properly and play it back.
Absolutely. You can produce a program in HD and produce it to DVD, and you have an HD presentation, but unfortunately, our delivery system is what it is, so we're subject to FCC rules and what Comcast provides us with.
So now, Mr. Walsh, how long have you been the chairman? of the
I
board?
first became a member after I retired in 1996. So it's been a lifetime joy for me. I hope to be here till I'm 222. But it is, it's a part of my life. I think that's what happens. The people become part of your life. The joy of doing things for people. I enjoy working with people. I work with the elderly. I used to do photography down there and take pictures and video. And then a young lady took my place down there, who's standing there in the background, who made it very easy because she's very good at editing. And that made my life even better. I still have my old camera,
Yeah.
my analog camera, and Sal does put up with me.
It's a family. We have to.
It's a but I'll change over to HD one of these days, digital.
And what would be your, I don't know, your appeal, your spiel towards the importance of members running for and applying to be on the board?
Well, one of the things, you can always use new blood, new ideas. Somebody new comes in and they may say, well, have you thought of doing it this way instead of another way? How about getting this group involved? The person may be very good at inviting other people into the system, especially if they come on the board. We really would like to get more businesses involved, groups involved, and activities for other people. And the people within the group, if you become part of it, are able to do this because we spread ourselves out. We get involved with more people within the community. I don't know what else to say other than, it's a fun time. It's something you really want to do after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You're really devoted to it.
And what is the board's relationship to the general operation of SATV?
Well, we have a set of rules that we are in charge of, and he carries them out, and everybody follows suit because that's his job. And our job is relatively simple. As long as we follow the rules set up by the state, by the FCC, we don't have a problem. And we very rarely have had any meeting where we had to get together and discuss something that was beyond our scope or somebody thought was within our scope, but it's not, because we have to follow the Constitution. And as you know, Access TVs, just about anything goes on Access TV. If we have something that might be a little bit scary in regard to sexual, then we put it on late at night. So that way children are not involved. We hope they're not up watching at midnight. They should all be in bed by then. But that's some of the things we do. The board, I find, is excellent to work with. We have female representation on there to get that side of the board. And it's been interesting for me to work with them. Sometimes you forget you're not supposed to call them girls or ladies anymore.
Yeah, we've had to physically restrain Charlie from time to time.
But yeah, so we set the rules, regulations, and so forth.
Now, to Sal, how long have you been the executive director?
Over 6 years. And it's been a great 6 years. Just to elaborate a little bit on what Charlie said, the board of directors here has great diversification. They understand what SATV is all about, the mission statement. the mission statement. That's the key. Community programming is what we're about. That's the mission statement. That's what they want us to follow, and that's what the rules and regulations are basically comprised of, is programming, community development. So it's a great board. I think we work very well together, and I think we've moved SATV forward greatly since I've been here.
And so you probably, I guess you have a really cool job.
It's one that I really like a lot. So
All glamour, I could picture like all video things, sound the
no,
beret, like focus,
no,
please.
no. It's just a really good job because it has a lot to do with people. It's all about somebody walks in the door, they want to become a member, they want to learn. You can't ask for anything better than that. The staff here is totally willing to teach everything we possibly can, although we start at their basic level. Whether it's a novice or whether it's a beginner, we'll start there and work them up.
But so in your day-to-day job, you deal just with video stuff or any facilities issues?
Anything. If I do a punch list for, say, tomorrow, and it's on my desk, guarantee you when I walk in the door, before I'm able to go to that punch list to do something, I'm already doing something else that came up when I left
Such as
the
a
day
leak in the
before.
roof.
That's just
Yeah,
that's
so
just the way it happens.
I'm starting to hint towards something big that we just had to deal with in your glamorous job. That,
Yes.
you
Very
wanna tell us
glamorous.
about it. Was it the meteor hit the?
Oh yeah, it
water heater?
was. I guess of course things always tend to happen, late Saturday and Sunday when no one's here. That the hot water heater, which I didn't realize we even had one.
Well, yeah,
burst.
because what you need is a cold
Yeah.
water heater.
Well, because it was above the ceiling in the storage area, and it burst, and we probably had 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 gallons of water everywhere at the front of the building. That's what I walked into on Monday morning. So it's one of those things. You had to deal with it, go through all of the wreckage and all the, I guess, paperwork and things that were damaged, and had somebody come in and stick hoses everywhere to dry out walls and rip walls out. Oh, it was lots of fun.
That went on for what, a couple of weeks?
At least, yeah. And then it was the process of, once everything was dry, dealing with the insurance company for the claim.
Oh, the easy part of it.
Yeah, that was the hardest part. And then repairing it. It was a process to repair it, but we muddled our way through it, and we got it done. And as a result, the bathrooms ended up getting redone. We have tile floors, nice new
Did you have to stay on the
countertops.
back of the contractor to get it right?
No. Fortunately, Leo Joden is our resident carpenter, man of all trades, and we hired him, and he performed the task. All you have to do is just look at the bathrooms, and you'll see. It's
Come on, let's go, field trip.
field trip. All right, let's go.
We'll change of
But
pace.
it's those are the types of things that always go to the curve. But you're all consumed by that for a while. But once you get by that, then you're on to the next thing that consumes you. So.
And then there's also been some improvements that Comcast has finally agreed to, or I shouldn't say finally agreed, they'll cut off they'll just
Well,
the microphone.
Well, no, that's a good point to bring up, is that we do have an iNet that goes throughout the city of Salem, and it's somewhere between 25 or 30 years old. Nobody knows exactly how old it is because nobody can find the records. But it's old. It's basically cable. It's mostly underground, and it's subject to dampness, ice, humidity. So the iNet delivers the school committee and city council. And over the past year, we've been having some serious problems delivering from remote locations like the city council and school committee. Either we have problems with the video, we have problems with the audio, or we have problems with both. And it's all to do with the iNet. And fortunately, there were enough people in the city, school committee members, city council members, the mayor's office, as well as just regular citizens who like what they see on SATV, the message that we delivered, complained and got notice, and it brought Comcast to a negotiation to do a fiber optic network.
Oh.
So we just went through a negotiation for that document. It's to upgrade one of the sections of our current contract to basically give us a fiber optic delivery system by, I think it's middle of June or the end of June of this year, 2009. It took us 3 to 4 months to negotiate it. Fortunately, we were able to give the right details. That's because I wrote the document. Because I wanted to be sure that we got everything that we needed. The only downside is that we're going from, the old system has over 40 locations that we could possibly broadcast from, but we only know that at least 7 or 8 of them actually work. We're getting a delivery from 4 locations on fiber optic. The difference is fiber has very minimal maintenance. The initial cost of installation is not as high as cable. It's going to be at no cost to the city or to SATV. Comcast is assuming the cost of it. So hopefully by the end of June we'll all be up and running and we'll be fine.
And we look forward to it. Now, you had mentioned about getting calls. Just in a short order, what's one of the best complimentary calls you've gotten, and then the other kind?
Well, I guess for me, the best calls are always when people thank us for covering everything that we cover, the school committee, the city council. I mean, because we do everything in the entirety. I mean, if it's a 3.5, 4-hour meeting, we're on for that whole time. Andrew Fritz produces the school committee and the city council. He does a wonderful job of, changing the cameras, IDing. I mean, he does a great production. And he's there before and after, and then delivers it down here, and then we get it on the air. So it's a process that I enjoy hearing those kind of compliments, that there's not enough that we can do for people. We just do it because that's what we're supposed to do.
Now, come on, one of the ones that you wish you had oven mitts to hold the phone.
Well, no, I don't think it's really, I think that it's, that people that view Salem Access TV sometimes don't understand that things are not in our control. And with the school committee and city council, the INET is totally not under our control. It's, like I said, it's old, it needs to be replaced, it will be replaced. So getting those phone calls from people saying that, you don't know what you're doing, blah, 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 the audio's too low, the video's no good, we're seeing snow. I mean, it's all out of our control. We have no idea if an amplifier or a splitter somewhere under the ground in the middle of Salem, downtown Salem, is going to fail.
Right, especially on a Saturday.
So that, that's the extreme. So, I mean, our job is to do everything we possibly can for community programming. And if we get enough lead time, 5, 6 days, 7 days would be nice. We usually can turn a program request into an actual program for somebody by getting a member who are producers to produce the program. So, I mean, that's kind of like the gamut from positive to negative, and it's kind of like, I think, goes hand in hand.
Kevin, on hot issues, I get calls.
Oh,
For
really?
instance, when the city council meets, if it's a meeting of the whole, we normally don't cover a meeting of the whole. And
Unless we're asked to.
unless we're asked to.
Right.
Well, they were not asked to at the last committee meeting of the whole, which had to do with the elderly center, senior center.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. They couldn't understand why they were not covered, whose fault was it, and so forth. And I said, look, all meetings aren't covered.
That's
If
right.
we're asked to, we actually do. But I said, in this particular case, it just wasn't, we weren't asked to do it.
Well, and a good point there is to make the point to that person, well, instead of complaining, speak up and say that you would like this thing, that this is an issue, where people have a tendency, not everyone, but there is a tendency to start with the, like, I didn't get this. And, well, if
But
you would ask,
I
maybe.
think by covering the school committee the way we do and the city council, people are much more interested in what's going on in the city now and why the school department has a tremendous problem with the money situation coming up. They can understand because this new superintendent has really been very keen about making sure they understand specifically why he's not doing anything immediately to make cuts until he knows how this impact thing is going to be coming from Washington, how far they can spread this money out. So it's important they're learning a lot more by able to watch these meetings. And this brings, again, other people down here.
And to go back to what I like to point out to people, that person who is sitting on the couch going, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this, to just reiterate, this is a TV station. This is where for $25 and some training, a learning curve of, to be realistic, a few weeks,
Yeah.
Right.
you can do anything that you want that is within the confines of the obscenity laws of the city of Salem.
Correct.
And slander or libel. I always forget which is written
Right.
and which is print. which is spoken. So it's wide open. It is kind of amazing sometimes when you just sort of catch that thought of you're watching something on television and you have that thought as I could do that.
Yeah.
And then SATV in a tacit way is going like, well, okay, why don't you?
Yeah.
Yes, you could. Come on down.
So that I want to throw it out here. Not a great use of a term, but are there any questions? And that looks like a no. I'm not going to beg. Oh, there we have a question back there. Yes, thank you.
Can I use my...
Wait, we got to get a mic. We can hear you, but they can't.
Hey, all right, can I use my camera to edit stuff and put it on SATV, my own personal camera?
If you're a member and you want to produce a program, you can use your own equipment. If you have your own camera, if you have your own computer at home, and you edit the program, you can bring it here and we'll air the program. If you do everything at home and you're not a member here, we also have an import program policy that you could bring it here and we could get it on the air. We have some members that kind of use sometimes our camera, sometimes our computer, and put programs together and then we get them. So yes, you can use your own stuff.
Well, what kind of editing program do you have? Do you have...
Oh, well,
Apple,
we have Apple computers.
Yeah.
You start an iMovie, and then you can work your way to Final Cut Pro.
You still have Final Pro?
Yes.
Good. Oh, wow. The upgrade?
Well, we have Final Cut Pro 6 right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we actually have Final Cut Pro Suite, which includes Final Cut Pro 6, which has motion and DVD Studio Pro and those type of things. So.
Any other questions? No. Okay. Well, we're now going to introduce the treasurer of SATV for the financial report for 2008, 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sumner Jones.
Thank you. I am pleased to provide, actually, it's not the 2008-2009 report, it's the 2007-2008 report. But we'll get to 2009 eventually. We had a very good year in 2008. Our objective at SATV is to use the funds that we get and invest them back in the programming of the studio, which includes paying the staff and in maintaining the physical aspects of the studio. So looking at the numbers before you, contributions in 2008 were $277,000. Where did that come from? Well, all of it came from Comcast. The city, in negotiating its agreement with Comcast, negotiated for a payment by Comcast to fund the Access television studio, which is SATV. We don't use all that money all at once, so some of it's at interest for a time, and we were able to earn interest on it. And then the other line is primarily memberships. You heard that it's the number of $25. It's $25 a year to be a member here, which is pretty reasonable considering all of the equipment and so forth and training available. So for the full year 2008, we brought in $291,000, a little bit more than last year. Looking at the expenses, which is the next slide, you'll see that we essentially had the same level of expenses as we did in 2007. We did have a small operating profit in both years. It is not the objective of this organization to create a profit. As I mentioned in the beginning, it's the objective to take the funds that we garner and to reinvest in our programming, which is what we did. The vast majority of our expenses are in salaries and benefits for our staff. We do have a professional staff that was introduced to you earlier, and they're the key to the success of the studio. We also have a significant level of depreciation. Depreciation is not a cash item. It's the theoretical diminution in the value of the studio, the leasehold, and all of the equipment here, which is substantial. But nevertheless, we broke even both years, and that's our goal. If we look at the next slide, we can see that we have a capital account as well. Also, part of the city's negotiation with Comcast is a provision whereby Comcast infuses capital into the studio periodically. That capital inflow is critical because the equipment wears out, it's used extensively, and that's important to be able to replace it. And also technology changes, and we need to continually upgrade the technology in the studio. So we began the year with $62,000 of capital. We received additional capital from Comcast of another $60,000 for a total of $122,000. Now, what did we do with that? Well, the next slide shows that we had a pretty active year in upgrading the facilities here, the equipment. One of the key things we did, it wasn't the most expensive one, but I think it was one of the most important ones, was to upgrade the microphones in the city council chambers, which helped address some of what you heard from Sal. He doesn't get quite as many phone calls now because the sound quality is so much better as a result of those microphones. So in total, we spent $73,000 in capital during the year, leaving us with a balance of nearly $50,000. Again, that's important because things do wear out. We do have emergency replacements of equipment from time to time, and technology changes. And under Sal's leadership and the rest of the staff, we're constantly looking for opportunity to improve the quality of the equipment and the training, and thereby the services we provide to the community. So that's my report. I think the comment was made, it's a tough year economically, but because of the structure of the finances here, we're in very good shape and expect to remain so in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. That's 2007, 2008. I never get anything straight when it comes to money, anything to do with money. Well, now, it was interesting what Sumner was upstaged by technology being upgraded right before our very eyes here in the studio, but we'll keep that behind the scenes. And I believe now we're going to see a roll-in produced by Patrick Kennedy, Producer Experiences, #1. And so, David, when you're ready, you could just bang on the glass if you're not. And we're going to sit here in quiet anticipation of a splendid roll-in produced by Patrick Kennedy right here in these facilities.
Hi, my name is Patricia Reed. I've been a member of SATV since November 14th, 2000. Well, I produce Eat My Shorts, the short video film fest show, and I produce Showcase Salem with Peter Alachi, Salem Now, and directing that or doing camera on that. We're on the road with Salem now, doing the editing and the graphics for that. Salem Drive-In Theater for the weekend movies, and some things with Salem seniors, and just a few things around town if ever. There's a lot of creativeness to it. There's meeting a lot of great people. Salem just has so many talented people, whether they're artists or writers. They appreciate it. They love seeing themselves on television, and they always tell me about it. And sometimes around town you see people and they'll say, you know, I saw this show, I saw that show. And it's always nice that I was a part of it or I knew who did it, and it's a great experience. With every show I always want to do better, and I think everyone should always want to do better and step it up a little bit, make better graphics and try and do better camera work and try different things. I edit these at home. I have a Mac and I have the iMovie, and I have one Mac that has the Final Cut Express, and I'm going to try and learn that as soon as possible. I always say I'm not going to let any machine get me down. I will overcome it. It's just a machine.
My name is David Murray, and I've been here at Salem Access TV for about 7 years now. I produce Touch and Souls Music Ministry. Touch and Souls is a music program. I videotape concerts, bands, dance recitals, anything that I can give to the community that's enjoyable. 7, 8 years ago, I came to do a fundraiser. I was playing drums with the group Follow Him Music Ministry, and I seen all of the equipment at SATV, and I just got fascinated with all the equipment and how they did things around here. And I joined, and I've been here ever since. I started out in the old analog with the VHS, then I moved up to iMovie, and now I'm with Final Cut Pro. And each step, it's a process. I like the challenge, and there's always something new to learn through the editing, the programs that they have here, the software. There's always something new. It's never a dull moment. I do music programs because initially I'm a musician myself. I play drums, I play a bass guitar. And now to be on the other side of the camera to videotape other musicians is a thrill. I think my program has given a lot of people that may not be able to come out to concerts that I videotape a chance to see what's going on in the community. You know, sick and shut-in people that may not be able to get around. So by doing this, I feel that I'm giving back to them an enjoyment, because every music is the key, you know, is the avenue to all the heart.
Oh, thank you.
That was good.
Nice work, Patrick. And now we move on to the election, where we have 3 candidates that are currently on the slate to run, and they are Frank Silva, Marianne Silva, and Eric Smith. And at this time, we throw it out. Again, I keep using that expression. We open it to the floor here. Any active members present can nominate themselves or someone else. It needs to be seconded, but have at it. Anybody? It's quite a rush to stand up here for two minutes and do a total ad-lib speech. No, nobody up for it? Going. Then we'll begin with our first candidate. And we could just do a coin toss to see who, but I think we'll start with the new guy. So everyone, please welcome warmly Frank Silva.
Charlie, thank you for the makeup. That's very good. You look great on that set, boy. I never realized that. You did a good job. Well, I've been involved here about 7 years. Produced a few shows, helped some people out in doing some shows, done some Heritage Days. At the present time, thanks to my wife, she does a lot of film editing on one of the shows we do now. And we're in the process of starting another show. Cross our fingers.
Good.
And I'd be interested, I'm really interested in running for the board of directors, and I hope you consider me. Can't thank you for letting me do a speech.
And now for a history-making moment, also running is Marianne Silva. Get the name Frank Silva, Marianne.
That's to keep me in shape.
I'm Mary Ann Silver, and I'm currently on the board. As Frank said, we do currently produce a show. We do From the Corner Office with the mayor at her, whenever she is available. And we are looking at starting another show. I am currently the secretary and if you would consider me for your vote.
And then up third is Mr. Eric Smith. And please cover him with applause. That's a long walk.
Hello, I'm Eric Smith. I've been on the board for a year now, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm proud of being part of this place. It's community access. The community owns this station, and we get to create the shows that we put out there for people to see. So I'd like to continue being involved, and I hope I can get your vote. Thanks.
Keeping it nice and short, how unpolitical.
I was going to say change.
Yeah, well,
Very short. I like that.
so now the election process goes that, ironically, there are 3 people on the ballot. You may vote for 3 people. It's a little banana republic, but that's why I said if
You don't need
got to run.
Yeah. There's no opposition.
I move the secretary cast one ballot for the slate.
Right. Cast one ballot.
And then we don't have to.
Oh, okay.
Say, just, I cast one ballot.
I'll cast one ballot.
Did somebody second that? Okay.
Okay, we had a little anarchy there, but it worked out well. There was no chair throwing or slapping like you see in some.
Well, Mary Ann, you should probably go up to the thing and say, I cast one ballot.
Make it official, yes.
Right.
'Cause we're on Robert's Rules of Order light.
I will cast one ballot for the current
Slate.
slate.
Okay.
So be it. Or is it what you say? I don't know, it's like right on. Oh, second, if we had to, and then we're all in favor.
All in favor? Aye. There's a vote.
So that was the election process. Because it reminded me that, like in Iraq, now they're going to be free to vote. And I'm like, oh, great. Now after all these years, they get to rig their own elections. So while we were counting the votes, we were going to watch another roll-in. And
Well, have we got a few minutes?
sure.
I'd just like to say, in regard to Eric, Eric approached me about doing a couple of shows. And I'm very interested in trying to get the memories of the veterans of the Second World War, Korean War, Vietnam, and so forth. And I think it's very important for people to know the story behind the story of a lot of these people. And Eric has been really super about getting the information. One of the veterans that we did gave us really quite a bit of history. He had kept a lot of the material at home, never showed it to anybody. And he gave it all to me in a big package, and I was able to prepare it somewhat for Eric. And Eric did a fantastic job of putting everything together, putting his story together, getting him to talk before the camera, getting the material out. While he's talking to the camera, you could see what was going on with the airplanes and the B-29s and the bombings and how many times he was shot down and 35 missions and so forth, just as a young boy. And in our community, we have many men and women that we really would like to get the story out about. And if they would only come down here or call us, we would be more than glad to either do it here or do it at their house. I mean, there were many women involved in the Second World War that people don't know about. And I think that story should be told. So this is a great time to get the people within the city, to get some of these veterans, to tell them not to be worried about it. And it would really help us that we could line people up and then bring them down and get these stories out and get it on discs. And then, we can send it to the Library of Congress. We'd have a copy here. I think it would be tremendous advantage to the Salem Access Television. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, Eric.
We have to get the veterans, because a lot of the veterans don't want to go on camera.
No, I know.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Eric and I had talked about it. It would it would be great if we could get them on camera, but it's hard to convince them that that's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure out different ways to accomplish this. Hopefully we can be successful.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, on a slightly different note, but in the outreach kind of element, we have a program with some of the schools and video equipment and
Oh, yeah,
hopes
right.
for making TV programs. You
Yeah,
wanna-
David, yeah.
Right, we have a program that we developed a few years ago that SATV purchased a camcorder and a tripod, one for each school in the Salem system, and we loan it to them, or I should say we lease it to them, not for money, but for programming. And we make it very easy for them. We provide them with training. All we ask them is just give us programming, which, again, it's about getting programming on the air. And if you give us programming, you can keep the camcorder and the tripod. Dave Gothier has been in charge of that program since it was created, and it works very, very well. We seem to get more and more programming from them every year. They're always asking for additional training. Of course, it is hard because people become transient, so you have to train new people. But it does work very well, though.
And what about the partnership with Salem State College, which
Salem State College, we actually have the athletic department actually joined as a member, and they produce their own programming now. They videotape a lot of sporting events. They use interns that we have here. They offer directed studies. Matter of fact, one of our camera persons tonight, Mike, he did a directed study where he videotaped so many hours of programming and edited things together for them. And what he didn't do, he left for them to finish and edit. And so we're working on new collaborations with Salem State all the time. It's a big facility, and it seems that it takes an individual effort to make it happen.
What about the relationship with the high school now, too?
The internship program, that was created last year by the teacher who was only there 1 year, Madeline. She created she did all of the paperwork to get the internship at Salem High so that they could come to SATV a few times a week after school to basically, for school credit, produce programming. And it started out last year where I think it was maybe 6 or 7. I think this year we have 11 or 12 students. And they range from freshmen to seniors. And they're, I guess, what considered to be cream of the crop in the area of television productions, because they teach those courses at the high school. So it's a really great program for us to be involved with. We get programming from them, and they produce programming that's related to what they're doing in school. There was something that we got a flyer for a contest for a student-produced program about prom night, drunk driving, so on. And so we, Patrick actually runs this program, and we discussed it, and he handed over to a couple of groups out of the high school students, and they're actually producing entries for this. And I guess if they win, they get a few $1,000s towards the school and
excellent.
some other benefits for the program. So it's been pretty successful. So it's good.
Very good. We hit something of a time warp in there, and not you guys, I think I missed a cue here. We'll have our second roll-in up, and it's Producer Experiences 2. And if you would be so kind to press one of those buttons in there, and we'll see what happens now.
And I've been a member at SATV for a year and 2 months now. I produced the discussion series for the 2008 Salem Film Fest. There were 6 discussions. They ranged in time from 5 to 15 minutes long. I took out a couple of cameras from SATV here at the studio, and then I started cutting them here a few months afterwards. So I finished the discussion series on the 2008 Salem Film Fest by December of last year. That was my goal, and I reached it. Well, originally I was just going to slap some stuff together, but the artist in me wouldn't let me just leave it as it was, so I realized it would be a lot more interesting to cut source material, from the films into the talks of the producers and filmmakers talking about their films. So it goes back and forth. I used some outside incidental music and soundscapes as well, just to bridge gaps and make it interesting for the viewer, and to make a more cohesive and interesting interview in general. Just some things to give it a dynamic kind of quality. As I feel that this medium has allowed me to express my artistry and to learn the rudimentary basics of how to shoot and cut a movie. I didn't have to deal with actors or a script, so there was no narrative concern at all. Digital technology is pretty user-friendly, so you can clean up a lot of mistakes really pretty easily. I hope that it just gave the community an awareness of what is going on here in Salem, and a great thing to take advantage of, just right here in our neighborhood. I produce these programs because it's a lot of fun, and I learn a lot as well.
My name is Eric, and I've been a member here at SATV for about 3 years. I produce shows mostly about Salem's history, but I've also gotten into doing a lot of things about antique hand tub or fire engine musters that are held all around New England. I decided to join SATV because I wanted to learn more about video and editing and all that, and I want to tell as many stories as I can about Salem that don't involve witchcraft, and there are a lot of them. What I like to do is take a camera out from here and film a show, and then when possible I hook it up at home and input it to a very old version of iMovie that I have, but it gives me the ability to sort of cut through some things, then bring it in here and hook up my FireWire drive here and finish the work. What that allows me to do is not waste so much time with the inputting. I can do the inputting at home where I have more things to distract me. I love producing the shows about the muster because I'm able to record a phenomenon that's sort of fading out in popularity, and by doing it I've actually found that I'm encouraging the people to sort of stay involved. I'd like to think that my programs are offering little glimpses into lesser known facets of Salem's history that will encourage people to go out and learn a little more about them. I've definitely accomplished something that I wanted to here, because I no longer say I'd like to be a documentary producer, I just say I am a documentary producer.
My name is George Ahmed, AHMED, and I've been a member, I'd say, for about 14 years. I produce Inside Salem, which has been going on, I'd say, about 14 years. It's a program that consists of previously elected officials that bring the insight as to topics that face the city present and past and possibly the future. I served as a former city councilor for Ward 1, and when I was no longer serving as a councilor, I felt there was a need to provide an insight as to what is taking place in the city and what issues councilors and the city government, how it's affecting the general public. I started off with members who were previously elected but are no longer seeking office, so they could basically say what they felt and not be politically correct in what they said as for answers and solutions. Well, I would say basically I love to see myself on the camera, but it's not the case. I think I started this and I just felt that I was encouraged by the response of the general public to the program. I would say basically it's the enthusiasm of the panel willing to stay with me on this program. Without their help, I don't think we'd have this program. Hopefully we will continue getting the enthusiasm that we have been receiving from the general public, and carry on. If I don't host this show someday down the road, who knows, then possibly someone on the panel itself will keep it going, and that would be great. Don't forget, watch Inside Salem.
Thank you, Patrick, and all of the producers involved. That was a great job. And now I'm going to steal a joke from Johnny Carson from years ago. Well, we've reached the halfway point of our show, and as people start to lose their will to live. Just kidding.
Only that way.
We're going to now offer up some awards to a couple of folks, and Sal is going to take over at this point. He's going to walk all the way over there to that podium, and in the podium is a safe where the awards are kept. And Patrick is lurking in the... come on, Patrick, you can come in.
Well, hello. If you didn't know, my name is Patrick Kennedy, training and production coordinator here.
Yay!
Thank you, thank you. We have a couple of volunteer awards to give out tonight. We were going to give out some producer awards, but everyone did so good producing in the last year that no one tops each other, so you all just did great. So, sorry, Pat, but you don't win Producer of the Year again. But first off, we want to give a volunteer award to actually someone you just saw on one of those roll-ins, Eric K. Smith, for helping us out not only with being on the board, but being one of those members that we can count on, whether it's, holding down the fort here at the studio when one of us needs to run up to city council because something's not working right, or if, something needs to get covered, Eric says, I'll help you do it, let's go do it, and he's there to help. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the staff and everyone else here at SATV, Eric Smith, would you come please accept your Volunteer of the Year award?
Thank you. I'm getting overexposed tonight, I think. I really appreciate this. I love this place, and it's great to be here. It's great to be part of all of this. And I do want to mention our friend Paul Bisson, who's gone out to the West Coast, and I hope things are going really well for him. He's sort of an inspiration for me around here. I've learned a lot from him and learned a lot from everybody else here, too. So thank you very much.
All right, so next up, we have... Yeah, it's another board member. Yeah, you guys have probably been hearing him talk all night. But this is a member who's not only helped with different video shoots. The Haunted Happenings Parade comes to mind for the past couple of years. A little leprechaun weird hat or munchkin hat, whatever that was. But he's also produced a lot of music things as well as just help out a lot of productions and help out with just the psyche of SATV. And if you hear the music on the intro and outro of this program, he made that too. Can you guys please give a big hand for Kevin Walker?
Well, thank you very much. This really means a lot to me, and I'm humbled by the fact of now I'm going to have to go and feel like I'm actually volunteering more. You feel like you do what you can, and then this is very nice. I say thank you, and don't want to be too effusive, then it sounds phony. But this will find a place on my wall in my studio, and look forward to volunteering. And as somebody else once said, I'm going to defend this for next year as well. So thank you very much. Now, we put the mic back on. That was slick television on my part. Well, we've reached the point where over the last 20 minutes you've probably been just dying to hear somebody say, it's time to wrap things up. Everybody gets to go. We got to clear out the studio. There's another function coming in here in a little bit. And we got Axel couldn't make it. We were going to bring Madge out, but she's not going to work alone. So at this point, we breathe a sigh of relief. We've done it again this year, another year, and
the SATV annual meeting is now closed.
second. Thank you very much. Oh.
You're still on.
I could see myself over there, and I should have known better. I was going to go into my Shakespeare bit. Hasn't that guy gotten by on a pass?